Jesus, the frankincense and the myrrh, maybe they weren't giving him just, precious gifts, they were giving him medicine.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. When you hear the story of the three wise men bringing the infant Jesus gold, frankincense, and myrrh, I remember years and years ago not really knowing. I mean, everyone knows what gold is. Most people don't realize what frankincense and myrrh are, but those were the two main sources of medicine during that day. And frankincense, actually, at the birth of Jesus would have been used because you look at children right after they're born, oftentimes there's bruising, and sometimes it's a dramatic experience. And so they would have actually rubbed frankincense oil on a child, which actually helps bring down that inflammation and swelling. Also, it's great for supporting and protecting the immune system. So if he was exposed to different types of pathogens at that time, frankincense oil really protects the body. And so absolutely, Ty, I mean, frankincense oil was used as, it was more than just a sweet smelling fragrance. It was, it was the biblically based medicine. Frankincense was used along with something called the holy anointing oil, which was actually had myrrh essential oil. So lots of people, when they hear frankincense, also start thinking about myrrh. And myrrh is referenced over 160 times in the Bible. Myrrh was also, actually there's a study in the Journal of Food and Chemistry and Toxicology recently that found that myrrh, another essential oil that's referenced in the Bible, is also effective at treating cancer.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, because that was my next question. What about myrrh? Because you have the frankincense and the myrrh.
Right.
So both were medicines.
Yeah.
Both were sweet-smelling fragrances. And here's something interesting that Dr. Sunil Pai told us last year.
From what we're looking at historically, the gold may be referenced as turmeric. Turmeric, or curcumin, specifically the part of the turmeric, but turmeric was sold and cost more than gold at the time. This is during the spice trade, with the trade route.
Sure.
And we always nicknamed them golden spice.
You could absolutely see that
Right.
that area in the Middle East,
Sure.
and turmeric today in cancer treatment. Talk
Yeah.
about a powerful compound,
Yeah.
frankincense, myrrh, and turmeric.
You got a triple play there.
Oh yeah. So but you look at something like myrrh, and it's powerful because it really works on the hypothalamus in the liver.
Okay.
And so it reduces liver inflammation and also balances hormones. And what happens a lot of times today, a lot of these cancers are estrogen-based cancers. And so what myrrh can do is it really supports the body, very similar, if people have heard of indole-3-carbinol or the benefits of cruciferous vegetables.
Broccoli. Right.
It works in a
Yeah.
very similar but an even more potent way, to where it really helps clear the body of excess estrogen or xenoestrogens that are found in things like soy and plastics and parabens today, and it really helps detoxify the liver and also boost a very important antioxidant called glutathione, which supports detoxification.
Wow.
So that's the way that myrrh essential oil actually helps in fighting cancer.
Okay.
One of the things that I've had my patients do, including my mom over time, is start creating an at-home frankincense and myrrh body butter and body lotion. And so basically she takes 10 drops of frankincense, 10 drops of myrrh, along with some coconut oil and shea butter, and makes her own at-home body lotion, rubs her entire body with that. And really those oils, the great thing about essential oils is those they've been used as aromatherapy. So those small compounds coming off the body are protecting the body. They're fighting cancer. They're doing some incredible things there, even topically. So I'll have my patients, or as I mentioned, my mom, take those essential oils and especially put it around that area of the neck. When you put on the neck and the back of the head, you're constantly also breathing in those beneficial compounds.
So you're not only absorbing it through your skin, you're breathing it in as well.
Absolutely, that's a good point. Your skin is your body's largest organ, and this is why, this is the amazing thing about essential oils. We've talked about frankincense and myrrh. Other essential oils as well, like lavender and sandalwood, are so incredible at fighting cancer. But, so many of these products people are using today, the body lotions, makeups, moisturizers, shampoos, conditioners, they are loaded with carcinogens. They're loaded with parabens and phthalates and sodium lauryl sulfate and all of these different chemicals that cause cancer, versus if people make their own at-home personal care products with essential oils, rather than causing cancer, they're fighting cancer.
So I use a lot of oils. I use a lot of frankincense oil. I also use clove oil.
How did you take it? Did you ingest it, or did you rub it on your skin?
Yeah.
Or did you do the aromatherapy? How did you do that?
It was really interesting how we did it. So I did do it back here where my scar is, but I don't know how effective that was because you do have a very thick skull. But one way that I did, and this was probably the way that was most consistent, is I always put a drop of frankincense oil on my tongue and raise the tongue to the roof of my mouth. And I did that probably about every 2 hours. because I figured, hey, that's probably the closest way I get to my brain stem without interfering with bones or things like that.
And a lot of blood vessels there too to absorb.
A
Right.
lot of blood vessels, so just a lot internal. What happened was actually quite incredible. So I started to gain health pretty quickly. Like I said, I started junior high school and then I was diagnosed 3 weeks later. So I came home and started to regain health after my surgery. I was able to start school again with my peers the next semester. And that was pretty incredible.
That's quick for a brain tumor.
You know what? It was interesting. I was only in the hospital for about a week and a half. Most people are in there for about 6 weeks. But once I had my tumor, we started on good nutrition. We started on oils, and I just had an amazing recovery. And that took about 3 years.
Okay.
Took about 3 years. I would go see him, but every time I'd go see him, it just slowly was improving. It wasn't dramatic overnight. It was a slow, gradual process, but it took about 3 years. And I remember the point where I went to go see my neurologist, and he told me, "You have no more tumor."
Really?
It's completely disintegrated.
Wow. What did you feel like at that point?
You know what? Words can't describe. It was just like such an emotional relief. You know, I had been praying and I wanted my tumor to go away. And I was like, you know, I need another chance at life. And so when those words were said, it was invigorating. It was like I had a new life again. You know, I wanted to go to college. I wanted to become a registered dietitian. I wanted to tell people my story. And when I was told those words, it was like, this happened.
And that was at the age of 16 then?
That was about, the age of 16,
Okay.
17 is when that happened. So ever since then, my health has just been improving.
What inspired